Thank you.
I understand your technical difficulties when you're doing external investigations, but however, both the international and the local group, have you ever looked at battlefields, in Verdun and things like that in Europe, the Holocaust, prisoner of war camps or internment camps?
They've actually asked us if we would go and do like Ground Zero in New York or Auschwitz in, Austria, Germany over there. Honestly, I think those hit a little too close to home, and I think that I would hate to stir up activity there. No need for it. I think we all know what happened there. Let them rest. But, yeah.
Rob, has it come up?
That's about what I gotta say.
Yeah,
Especially for the battlefields, maybe?
it's going to be coming up. We are going to be filming one, hopefully, fingers crossed, an outdoor location, much like you mentioned, from WW2 over in Asia that has some really strange, nasty history behind it. So hopefully we get something, and it'll be interesting to find out.
Everyone wants us to check out the battlefields in Gettysburg and things like that. We've talked to people at Gettysburg. They're good friends. They love us, but they will not allow you to film there. And honestly, I wouldn't film there. They don't let anyone on there at night. And if you're on there at night, then you've broken the law. So keep yourself quiet. Don't tell anyone. But honestly, I wouldn't film there anyway. I don't like to film in places that aren't controlled, because if it proves to be really haunted, the next thing you know, you got teenagers out there drinking beer, trying to do Ouija boards and all this stuff. And it's just, that's why we don't do cemeteries and things like that.
Grant, you have said in past panels that how you got started in taps was something that happened to you.
Oh boy, yeah.
So what was it? You don't talk about it?
I don't like to talk about it too much, but it's
That's
fine.
cool.
I mean,
That's cool.
I can touch on it, but no, seriously. I mean, I've been married. It'll be 12 years in February, and my wife knew I had an experience, but she didn't know what it was until just a few years ago. So it took her that long to pull it out of me. Honestly, I was 15. It lasted about 2 years. It was with the aspect of the paranormal that is very rare, and I've yet to find someone who can give me any answers on it. A lot of people claim they can, but they can't. And it comes back from time to time. And it's such a thing that it just, reality goes right out the window. Religion can't describe it. Science can't describe it. I can't figure out what it is. But it certainly has been an integral part of my life and my mentality towards life and people. And it's getting way too deep and not making any sense. But I don't know, maybe someday when the time is right, I'll say. But right now it's too personal.
Can I get one of my staff members over here real quick, please? And then we have the question.
First of all, Dustin, the other night, I'm sorry I called you Tango.
That's okay, no problem. I mentioned to her, I said, I love when people come up to me and they're like, I watch your show all the time, and I gotta tell you, Steve, you're my favorite.
This is how you remember: hat, no hat, upside down visor,
I wasn't wearing it at the time, so, what I really wanted to know about is I know that you were a very close-knit group and everything like that. What was the best practical joke that was ever played by anyone?
Something we don't talk
There were
about.
too many. Too many. God. All right, y'all know Donna. We love Donna, right? Everyone's like, so yeah, no. Donna's great, but she's the most gullible person on the planet. We actually had her honestly believing that they had genetically engineered cows to produce orange juice. Oh, right, yeah, I know, but there's time to joke and there's time not to, but I think the best thing, she would always try to play jokes on us and they would backfire. But I think the best thing was Jay and I and Donna were on a plane, a really small plane. We're in the back row, and I'm sitting on the aisle seat. There's a bathroom door here, and where Dustin sitting is where Jay was. Donna was sitting next to me. And before the plane took off, she had to go to the bathroom, so she went in the bathroom. And I look at Jay, he looks at me, I knock on the door. You hear, just a minute, I'll be right out. Then Jay knocks on the door. Just 1 second, I'm almost done. Okay, I'll be done. Guys, I know it's you. Yeah. Kept doing it until the vulgarity started coming, right? Donna sweet, right? Boy, yeah, she started getting really heated. Just a minute, I'll be right out. And then up the aisle walks this little old lady. She knocks on the door. What the hell? And she looks at us and we're like... And then Donna eventually opens the door. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Brilliant thing. Yeah. There were too many. She tried to, her big plan was to get us with the fart machine. Oh boy, we decided to get us her heart. But I don't know. I could go on and on that.
I'd just like to say that I love the Ghost Hunters. You guys are awesome. International and... Brent, this question's for you. I'm having a problem with my sink, and... Getting good drainage going out into it. It was running into the leach lines. Would I need to install a backflow valve or something?
A backflow valve? No.
I'm asking you. You're conveniently placed at the panel.
No, you don't need a backflow valve. You only need that in an injector system. What you need to do is it a bathroom sink?
No.
Or are you making this up?
No, I'm not making this up.
Okay. It's a bathroom sink. You need to pull out the pop-up system and see if there's any, stuff. And then you need to go and get yourself an enzyme and pour that in at night, once a month or once every 2 weeks, and that will eat the grease out of the lines and it'll go clear. No problem. If it gurgles, you got a ventilation problem. Got it?
Thanks a lot.
Different. Why are you applauding?
I promise I'm not going to ask a question about my sink.
Oh man.
What I was wondering is, I know it's become more and more acceptable these days, but I know maybe 10 years ago, people generally wouldn't talk about hauntings. And I remember one episode in particular where she was asked to have anonymous because she didn't want her neighbors knowing. What I was wondering is it more acceptable overseas to talk about paranormal activity?
Yeah, I think that depends on the country. Sometimes even within a country, like Romania, if you go into the cities, that's absolutely they would laugh at you if you said you're a ghost hunter. They'd be like, oh, that's so backwards thinking. If you go out to the country, excuse me, if you go out to the country, they've got 7 horseshoes around the door and all these kind of weird things to ward away spirits. So I don't think we can really say, in Europe it's this way. It really depends on the area. But we definitely had, we went over to Ireland and they're huge believers over there.